Oh,
We're live. Oh my
hello
gosh,
there.
we're back. It's been
We've done it.
forever.
We've
Oh,
done it. It's been. Wait, has it been forever?
oh,
Oh yeah,
Did we
it's
do?
been like 3 weeks.
Wait, really?
I don't know, maybe not. Is it not?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know, man. Okay.
Well, there was a double gap. I think maybe it's been
it
two
was a
weeks,
double.
but
It was
before
a
that
double.
there was a gap too.
I see.
So
So
it's
we had
been
like 2 gap weeks in a row.
2 gap weeks, which for my brain means it's been like 5 months.
5 months. Yeah, I got you. I'm with you, guys. It has been a crazy day.
Yeah.
So
Jinx.
Jinx. And you know what? It is. It is too early.
It's too early.
It's
I-
too early.
I am drinking coffee. Just
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
wow.
If I had time, I would have done that. So let me paint you a picture of my morning. So we have one of our neighbors' cats.
Oh,
Just
hold on.
please
Please hold.
Whoops.
hold.
Whoops.
False start. False start. Everybody hold for a second as we restart the podcast.
Oh my god. Yeah, we're all just gonna hang up on you guys.
Yep,
Bye
yep.
everybody. Just
Bye.
kidding.
Peace.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So-
okay. Okay. Okay.
So
okay.
I'm in, and of course, our neighbor's cat just recently had kittens, and so as you can see by like the cat stuff over here, we're planning to adopt these kittens.
Yeah.
So B's out of town, my wife is out of town, and I was out of town last week. We were like, look, once we're both back in town, we'll take the kittens and then we'll go. And they're weaning their mother, so they're eating dry, solid foods now, so they're ready to, like, find a home. The mother's in a safe spot to not like be really attached to the kitten. She's branching out again. So this is the time. So we're good to go. But the mother often comes over and we keep her fed and stuff because she's our neighbor's cat. And we're like, well, yeah, we're gonna take care of you too. She's a true outdoor cat. And she's over there getting breakfast this morning. And all of the kittens are like in a shed that they have. So they have a little shed with all their stuff in there. And I'm feeding the mother cat, and I'm drinking my coffee, and I go stand at the door and I look and I'm like, is that 5 cats climbing over the fence? I'm like, oh my gosh.
Towards
And
you?
towards the forest.
Oh
I'm like,
no.
oh my gosh. So immediately I'm like,
Now, I want people to know how dangerous your forest is. It's like for cats, it's like the forbidden forest. I learned about this recently. I had no idea how
Dude.
dangerous this forest is.
What?
He lives in what you would think would not be a dangerous forest area
Yeah.
No.
because it's just
no.
basically rural, right? Or not rural, urban.
It's rural where
Suburban?
all of the forest areas, all of the coyotes in existence have been packed into them.
Okay.
Oh no.
But this is important because if you know coyotes like I do, coyotes are only supposed to live in pairs and they have areas. They don't go into each other's like areas, right? Around Eric, guess what?
There isn't enough area.
They form packs.
No.
Yeah. They form
They have
packs,
video evidence of packs of coyotes.
just like
which is not
across people's
natural.
lawns, like,
Yeah, like-
out in the open. It's wild.
Like
It's wild.
18 coyotes.
Okay, so
That's
now I'm like,
dangerous.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The cats, and okay, so let me explain the geography. Fence, their fence. Forest, our fence.
Yeah.
Their fence, forest.
Okay.
5 kittens on the. Okay,
I
have
feel like
set
this
the
is a
stage.
I feel like this is a notepad moment
Notepad moment. Yeah,
or whatever
it-
you
it-
call it, the paint moment.
And then
Right.
all I see is a cat go, ah, and jump into the forest, and I'm like, oh my god. And so I text the guy because I have the guy's number because we've been chatting back and forth to make sure, like, here's where we're gonna get the cat, the logistics,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, are the cats doing well? He'll send us pictures. We'll be like, haha,
All
awesome.
that cute shit. Yeah.
Yes, all the good stuff. And I just saw one of the cats, Superman, into the depth of hell.
Forest.
And of course, now I'm like getting my shoes on, putting on pants because this area is like death. I literally walked through this area and had to pick off dozens of spiders. Like this is
Ooh.
not where you want.
It's not a good place to
be.
Place to be. Okay,
So I'm texting. He's like, I'm not home. I'm like,
bro.
I'm like, is anybody else home? He was like, no, nobody's home.
How did
I'm
they
like,
get out.
I'm like, oh my gosh, can I put them back in the shed? He's like, that would be amazing. And then I go over there and I have to jump the fence. And at first they're all looking at me like smiling, happy. And then I hop over the fence and they're like scatter into the depths of the forest.
Yep.
And
Uh-huh.
the next like 3 hours of my life,
Oh, dude.
I am knee deep in muck and
No.
digging through to literally herd cats. And you know
Bro.
what? You know when people say it's like herding cats, they're wrong. It's not like herding cats. Herding cats is way worse. Okay. So now I have been herding cats for 3 hours. I have finally gotten all of them in. I put a wooden thing and I shove it up under the door. They're not getting out until cool. I'm going to go back to work and already crazy today. Everything decided to break. I like a dozen things. I am not be more pulled in 18 directions. Then I'm working and I get done with work and it's 4:45 p.m. and I'm like, awesome. I have some time to wind down and break. And I get a second cup of coffee and I walk to the door.
The
Freaking
brace is gone.
5 cats on the top of the fence. Ugh. Again.
Eric, it was just natural selection. You actually should have just let those cats go.
Again. All again. This time my neighbor was home though, so there were 2 of us climbing through the depths of this forest to get these cats. And so finally he's like, this is getting really, really hard. I was like, I'm going to go get wood. I went to my friend's house. I got a plank of wood and I nailed down because we found a hole in the back of their fence that they were escaping through and then climbing up from the other side. I was like, cool. I got a board and I SpongeBob nailed the other side of their fence so that they couldn't escape that way. And my neighbor's sitting there and he's like, this is just getting really difficult. And we have some friends coming to get these ones later this week. And finally, I was just like, you know what? I'll just do to help. Whatever. So welcome to the Taphaven family. Okay. They're sleeping in the box right here.
Adorable.
Yes.
How many are
they're
there?
open. They can
All
they can
5?
go out. We have 2.
You have
We have 2. No.
Oh, you got the 2
They
little
still
ones.
have 3.
Oh, I see one.
Yeah. You might be able to.
So you're
He's
little.
like,
I thought I saw one walking around.
you might.
You're blurry on my on my VDO, so I was like trying to look at the small thing. So it might have just been weird pixels.
They're both in there. And
Oh, Eric is a cat person.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh
So
yeah.
they're sleeping, but yeah, he was finally like, it would rip if you took yours, and I was like, okay, early. I'm not fully prepared. We have some of our stuff coming on Wednesday to help, like a pin and stuff like that. But have like all of the stuff, a bunch of stuff ready to go. They have water. They're good to go. But
Is Eric's audio and video quality just like on the fucking a tsunami wave for you?
Yeah, it's been really bad. The stream to my OBS is doing fine, but that also was freezing up at one point. So his internet's just being weird.
Okay.
my internet's just being weird. Oof.
Seems to be.
I believe so.
Should I restart?
I mean, I think it's fine right now. If it gets bad, we'll let you know. Because like you're fine now, and we've been able to catch pretty much everything that you've been saying. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Anthony.
I'm wishing that there was a way for me to like easily
Clearly.
monitor, because I have like the Nat and Eric direct vocals to my
Same.
stream.
Same.
And if I was monitoring that, I would get the quality stuff instead of the video like
Let me
chat stuff.
see if I can, because there is.
While he does that, dude,
Mm,
I feel like that was his first test of fatherhood.
Oh, for sure.
That's like
That is
that's
truly.
like well, what is Hippo puts it in a certain way? He's like, of course I'm wearing jeans. I'm a dad. It's like I have to wear jeans. I have to be ready at
Yeah.
any point in time.
Yeah.
I might need my pants. That's all I could think about when Eric was like, I had to put on my pants. And I'm like, I've been there. Like, you're like,
Yeah.
shoot, I'm in sweats or I'm in like shorts, and now I gotta
you're in
go into the
nature care.
forest.
Yeah.
Like,
Everybody has like every animal has a version of either dad or momism that you have to activate at some point in time. Like there was oh God, what was it? Yeah. Oh man, this was whenever I had Cove. He got into something, and it like stung up his face. I don't know what happened. We went outside for a walk. I let him off the leash and we played out in the field. And when we came back, his face was all puffy. So I gave him he was just like not feeling well, and I gave him Benadryl. And then I went to sleep, and I woke up to him whining. And that night, he had explosive diarrhea in my room.
oh no.
Like intermittently for the next 2 hours.
Oh God.
And so I had to put on my dad pants.
Oh God, that's horrible.
I had to wake up, and then he also did the same thing. I think we had him in the kennel at one point in time, and he wasn't feeling well. I came home, and the kennel was in the middle of my office at the time. You guys have been to that townhouse, with the carpet at the bottom, right? Cove was in there, and he had had explosive diarrhea again, but he had also sprayed it around. So
Good
it's
God.
on the carpet in a blast zone around it, and I was like, well, I'm gonna put on my dad pants.
Dude, that's so bad.
It was
There was one morning when so Ash has a paranoia about one of our dogs, Yui, because she once ate a leash and had to have surgery to get it out.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because that's very dangerous. So it's 3 a.m. She wakes up, hears something, looks up, sees what she thinks is a sock or something on the ground. So she's worried that Yui's about to eat a sock or was chewing on a sock. So she lunges towards the floor and grabs it. It's poop. She was immediately regretted that. The worst thing.
A white poop, just like a shadow in the dark, and you're like,
oh my God,
it was a
dude.
decoy.
Oh no, it was dark. It was the right. It was normal color. It was normal color. I think.
Oh no, I believe you. It was
But,
just more so I'm like, oh yeah,
It's just an
that's how
object.
you know.
I actually had a moment on Monday. Ash was
Oh.
a turd. So not today, Monday. A week ago Monday, we were driving back from the Miami Grand Prix for Formula One. And we are an hour from home. So we are 12 hours into driving. And we hear some whining.
Oh no.
And I'm like, what is going on back there? Ash, what's going on? There's blood. What? Why is there blood? All of a sudden, what just happened? Yui chewed a tennis ball sized hole in her hip. And by hole, I mean divot in her fur. It was all skin surface. She pulled out a ton of hair. She must have gotten bit by a spider or something, but we had to pull over. We're an hour out from home, and I had to get out the doggy med kit that we had from Amazon. By the way, those might be somewhat helpful, and it was helpful. It had some things in it, but it was terrible. Don't just buy any cheap med kit you find online. Get some good stuff, because when you need it, you want some good stuff, and you want it to be labeled and organized, because that sucked. So I'm reaching through, Ash crawls into the back seat to hold her still. I'm reaching through the door or the window to patch her up and clean her up, and it was
wow.
it was a lot, dude. Oh man,
Wow.
flat tennis ball. Yeah, not a legitimate chunk of flesh. Yeah, and then she was doing really good, and then today or yesterday, I think it was today, she started chewing at it again. Or like maybe the hair started growing back and made her itchy, because she made it bleed again. So now she's got the donut on her head.
I was about to
Bruh.
say, yeah, you'd cone.
Yeah, okay, so if y'all ever need a dog or a cat to have a quote unquote cone again, get an inflatable donut instead of a cone, because then
Yeah.
they bounce off of things. They
Yeah.
also have a pillow at all times,
Yep.
and no cone badness.
Yep.
No.
All right, Eric, you are finally not pixely, but you did come in and out a second ago.
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
said cone, it was a little off, but you're looking good. Nope.
Going on. I'm looking at
there-
the
there it
thing.
goes.
We jinxed it.
But it's
Damn.
not from me. Thing between me and like the Twitch servers or something like that. So
Oh, might be the Twitch service.
I might. Yeah, I might be able to change the server from something like that, but I don't know if I can do that while it's like happening. Don't know. Let's see. Let's see if I can change.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry if that
okay.
was horrible, but I'm listening to Eric directly through OBS now.
And
You're listening to me through OBS. Hello. Do I sound suave and normal, or do I sound terrible?
So far, so good.
you seem fine right now.
So
Yeah.
the one good thing is that if you are using a buffer like I am for my stream, then theoretically mine, as long as my network doesn't have more than a second of lag or stutter, then it should even out on the stream in OBS. But it depends. So like I have a buffer of a second so that if we have any hiccups, they get evened out in the final recording.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Obviously, there's nothing I can do for over a second, but
Yeah, unfortunately, it is still like going in and out here and there. Oh, that's
see.
rough.
Fuck me, mate.
Oh.
That's rough. We're getting technical difficulties.
We're trying. We're trying.
Technical difficulties.
Outside,
Also, my camera's not centered.
I might be able to restart and fix it, but
Worth a
I
shot.
don't know.
Because yeah, it is not fixed itself.
Okay, let me see if that
my wife
works.
swapped the chairs.
She stole your chair.
Look,
How dare?
she didn't steal it. It's more so like she's wondering why the wheels don't work. And I was like, yeah, no, they need to like orient. Like they're not gonna the ones that we got, they don't like spin on an axis. They like they have to adapt. And I guess she didn't believe me. So
Oh my gosh.
so she stole my chair from inside my room. And I'm like, I'm doing it right now. And I'm like, yeah, it's still kind of funky. So I don't know.
Is it worse than the chair you were used to?
No. I mean, it's still the same brand that's bad, so it is what it is.
Sounds like you need some WD-40.
Nah. It sounds like I need a new chair. Honestly,
Well, there's that.
My knees don't go my knees are like parallel with my hips. I know that they need to be like below my hips, so
They don't need to be below your hips.
it's just better if they are because it's good
No.
for my posture.
So it can make it easier to sit up straight, yes.
Yeah.
But like, if you just get a good chair, it doesn't really matter as much.
Yeah, it's
Like
fair.
you can do 90, 90, 90.
Mhm.
Like 90 degrees at the knee, 90 degrees at the hip. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Ever since I got this chair,
Boy,
it's
hell
like a medical miracle. Like
yeah.
any sort of medical issues I have, sit in
Gone.
this chair, it's fine. Sit in another chair,
Dead.
not fine.
Dead. Actually dead.
Yeah.
So did you have to like oh wait, you don't go into the office anymore, I guess. Never mind.
I did this week
So do they have like
in a way.
do they have like a nice chair for you there or like
At the yeah, so when I started working at my first job, and which is still my current job, first like big boy job is what I mean. You know,
Yeah.
they actually had Herman Millers, which is a really good
Mhm.
sign. Like when
Yeah,
you walk into the office and they have Herman Millers, that's like hey, look, they care about their
They care
people.
about their people. Yeah.
So I got to experience them pretty early, but the office chairs, like the rigid ones, you actually
Yeah.
sat out in one probably while you were here.
I did.
The meshy
The ones
one.
with yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got that one from the office. They're definitely good, but you can't like put your leg up if you like are a cross-legged person
Yeah.
or whatever, like not comfortably.
Yeah.
But the Herman Miller
Comfortably?
Embody comfortably.
I
The
got
Herman Miller Embody you can, and it's
you.
nice. It's actually comfy and stuff like that. But yeah, then I worked at another office. That office they had knockoffs that sucked.
Knockoff Hermans. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't care about people at all.
No.
Yeah,
I know a bit about that. So I got you.
yeah, but yeah, it's
Cressida VTuber. Who followed me? This was 7 days ago. Okay, cool. Whatever.
oh nice.
Nah.
But yeah, this past week, so I already told Eric about this. I can go ahead and talk about this. And there he is,
Oh, look at
like
that.
Beetlejuice. My God.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Dude.
Okay. Am I here?
Yeah,
You
you're
are.
here, but you
Yeah.
need to share your chat now.
Oh, does that go away?
Yes.
That's annoying.
Yeah. So while Eric figures that out, I'll tell.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that was the story, wasn't it?
That was
Shoot.
the story.
So I just saw Eric in person. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, I talked to him. So I
Oh,
and
man.
shared things about my life like a dummy. Like I can't believe I did that.
What an
Like, I don't-
idiot.
I
What
don't
an
know
idiot.
why. So dumb.
You big
know.
dumber.
But yeah. While he's doing that, I guess I can just talk about the Formula One Grand Prix.
I mean,
Great
if you
experience,
have to,
never
you
going
sound
back.
you sound so upset about it.
Wait,
really?
you're never going back?
Unless I'm paid to be there and it's like a nice little suite or something.
Ooh.
So the thing is, it was very Miami. On Friday, when we were there with just practice and sprint qualifying and like nobody was there,
Nice.
it was all people that actually cared about the event, right? And it wasn't overly crowded, and it was just cool and a great experience. And then the second day, they didn't move our parking to a reasonable parking lot. They kept us in a 2 mile away, 45-minute walk parking lot.
What
That
the
wasn't a
hell?
lot. It was actually just grass, and we walked through some sketchy areas. There was cops everywhere, but like it was still just
Still
weird
sketch.
and a very, very long walk.
It was
Like
45 minutes walking is not a short time.
no, there's no shuttle. Like they could have just had shuttles, dude. And they're like, please don't use
ride
ride
share?
sharing because they're not gonna be able to park anywhere and or drop you off anywhere, and it's gonna be a mess. It's like, well, if you gave us shuttles, we wouldn't have to.
We wouldn't have to. You dangus.
Yeah, so it's just weird. And we even saw someone that was a Lyft driver get pulled over because they stupidly let people out right in front of a cop
Yeah.
on a street.
Oof.
Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
But it was just like so the weird thing was we got a campus pass, which is a fancy name for general admission.
What does that mean?
It means you can walk around
Mhm.
but you can't go anywhere.
You walk around, but you can't go.
So you don't
anywhere.
have seats, right?
Uh-huh.
You don't have like a place to sit. And the thing is, at this track, nowhere to sit is actually any good. so so it's like you could get a seat and sit down and watch the race from a spot, but guess what? You can barely see anything because it's Florida. It's all flat. On top of that, they have put up an insane amount of stuff in the way of you seeing things, whether it's just blocking the fence or big giant clubs that are club only access, VIP stuff that you have to pay like insane amounts of money to get access to, or it's like a corporate event or something like that. Now there are places where you can see through the fence, and that stuff's really, really cool, but there's just not like enough available. And when the real event started, when the main event, the Grand Prix started on Sunday, they closed everything down without telling you. So suddenly, if you came down from the arena, which is 3 stories tall, but way bigger than 3 stories because it's a freaking, NFL stadium, they shut down the escalator. So if you want to go back up, you got to walk. Yeah. Yeah. Then they have these viewing areas, which they advertise oh, as a campus pass holder, you can go to the viewing areas. And I swear, I mean, this might have been hearsay, but I'm pretty sure it said something about those viewing areas being like
exclusive.
no rotating. Like they literally have people like security at the viewing areas. I walk up to one of them and I'm like, "Hey, are y'all going to be like rotating people through here like cuz there's a line for people to get in." And they're like, "No, it's closed." And I was like, "Okay, there's a line. Why is there a line?" It's like, "Well, they might open it, but we don't know for sure. They might reopen it at some point." Like, "Okay." You know, and so when the race was almost over and we're leaving, or not leaving, but like we're making our way towards the exit ish to try to more easily
Stupid.
leave,
Uh-huh.
I saw them open one of the viewing areas with like 3 laps to go. I was like, okay, hey, you want to go watch the end of the race at a viewing area? So it was just not very
That's
consumer friendly,
garbage. No.
right? That was that
That
part
probably
was weird.
burns your britches a little bit.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also like it's Florida, so it rains like crazy, right? So
Yeah.
we know the rain's coming. We're trying to find a place to seek shelter. And the first place we go to, they're blasting music like 10 times louder than they did on Friday and Saturday. So loud that I actually had pain in my left ear for like a while after we
Oh shit.
left to try to relocate.
Uh-oh.
We go to another area where I know there's cover. They're also blasting music louder than reasonable, you know. And
Uh-huh.
it was just weird because it's like these are places that anyone can go for real rather than like pseudo you can go these places. But then they're doing that and it's just like I don't know. It was weird. I thought it might have
It
been
was
just
it was weird. It was
It was
it
weird.
was a off-putting and strange experience. And you know what else is kind of off-putting or strange? We haven't had a drink yet.
What are we drinking today?
We haven't. So our drink for today, Nat, your face. Is it rough?
You're okay. You're okay. I'm just listening.
Are we sure? Are we sure?
Yeah, now I'm just fucking with you. All right, go ahead.
Can you share the chat?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's definitely my ISP. Like my trace
Oh
going
no.
crazy after it hits Atlanta servers. I don't know what to do. It's just that kind of day, I guess.
Does it help
Today-
if you don't multi-stream?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Like the amount that the multi-stream adds is only on my CPU or GPU, but I'm having no problems with my GPU
Yeah.
or CPU. And my
Oh,
network
but before we do
output-
move on, overall, the Grand Prix was a worthwhile experience and the coolest thing in the world. If you haven't seen it, is on YouTube where the drivers drive Lego cars around the track. And this
that
was
An
is
the first time
entire
this ever happened.
entire Lego car. That's actually
A
pretty cool.
full-sized Lego replica, and when
And
no
they
one can see,
do-
they start crashing into each other on purpose when they go where there's like no audience.
Wow.
It was too funny. But yeah,
Wow.
worth checking out.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, dude, can you share the chat?
What? Why did the chat stop?
It never started.
I think it did.
I thought
Did
it
it?
did.
No, never mind. No, it's not sharing anymore. You're right.
Okay. I got you. Look.
Okay. Click to collaborate.
You're good.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
I see the group thing.
I'm in the
Yeah.
group.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
I see the group. I just don't see everything else.
Do I
Hosts
see
can
it?
enable shared chat. But that's about it.
Let me find it.
So today we are going on an adventure, guys.
Oh.
We
Oh,
are
there it is.
going to the Great Park. Yeah, it's shared. Where are we going, Eric? You know where we're
Well,
going?
I thought, honestly, that we're going to a long overdue apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Wow.
Because today we are going to the great super volcano that's Yellowstone.
Vesuvius? Oh,
It's a dormant volcano.
Yellowstone.
it's a dormant volcano, so it's kind of
So today-
it's kind of okay.
Yeah, it's kind of okay. So yeah,
Oh,
we are trying a. Interestingly, it's not a normal Yellowstone bourbon. It is a special finishes collection. It is finished with
Oh,
toasted oak stave. So normal aging, normal thing. Then they essentially drop oak staves that have been toasted inside of the whiskey and let it age a little bit more.
oh, that's cool. Did I just pull up?
Anthony, you seem
bookmark? No, I did not.
confused.
yeah, because Ash had told me I'm quiet on my stream, and then I'm watching you talk, and when you talk, you're coming through my mic and yourself.
Wait, I'm say that one more time.
Yep.
What?
In OBS, I have my mic, and when you talk, my mic lights up.
Interesting.
Hey, Nat, can you say something?
Something.
Yep.
Something.
Both
Something.
of you.
Something.
Oh God, I love OBS so much.
Oh man, I love OBS. It's just so
Oh,
great.
oops. Nope.
Oh yeah, I
I didn't
love
do
it
that.
so much. Did you drink?
Nobody saw it. Nobody on the stream saw it. You all shut up. Nobody stream. Do not tell them what happened. Do not tell them what I did. I did not do it.
What are we doing?
Life
What
is
are we doing?
bliss.
What are we doing?
Ignorance is bliss. Look,
I don't even want to be here.
look, my body needed it so badly that my hand
Ooh, one of the
didn't even
tasting
think
notes
what was happening.
is black.
Nothing is real
I don't
anymore.
know about that.
Right.
This is why y'all need to just have a bar shelf like I do on my desk, where you can go and just go ahead and start ahead of time, because I can never
No.
wait.
No, no.
That's
Because
fair.
I've already been having Boardman's Bullet. It's
What's
right there.
Boardman Bullet?
Boardman's Bullet.
Look at that. It's Bullet Bourbon.
I-
Boardman's
Oh.
bottle. It says Boardman on it.
Incredible.
This is my current shelf whiskey.
Oh man.
Four Roses, the
I mean,
small
I
batch.
guess I
Oh,
have
man.
a shelf whiskey. It's
Also very
I
good.
guess I do.
Oh God, that's yeah, I mean, if you want.
That's a
It's
very
a very nice bottle,
whiskey.
but honestly, I feel like I'm burning through it very quickly.
I actually ordered another Blue Note.
You did?
Oh, another Blue Note. They're
Well,
pretty good.
I was ordering something on Sealbox, and it's like, the same price of shipping for 2 bottles versus 1. So I was like, is there anything?
You
Here
wanted
that
to
I
get- Dude,
want,
I would get
and I
this
saw
if you could. Like, if you could get a Lost Lantern,
Mhm.
it's really good. It kicks like a freaking mule.
And is pretty good. We need Steel Box to work with us. Steel Box.
Seal
But,
box?
No,
Who
Seal.
are
Seal.
gonna be ads. Seal Box. Seal Box.
Seal
We,
box.
like you, want to just engage with bourbon and whiskeys of all different types. So you should send us whiskey that we can try here together as one.
Speaking of, soon we're gonna have a schedule. You'll have to get on that schedule because we're gonna allow some of our audience to taste with us because they asked for it, and we always said, maybe behind the scenes, we're like, when someone asks for it, we should start doing that. And they did.
Fair. We were asked.
It was requested.
Guys, I have bad news.
You spilled.
I spilled the whiskey. Not
The
all
whole thing?
of it. Not all of it. No.
Oh
but
my
I
goodness.
spilled most of it. So
Can we start a montage of
no.
Because
Nat
feel like we're at-
spilling
we're at
No.
least 3 times now.
Why am I so
At least.
clumsy?
I just want to see like the differences, the slight, subtle differences
I don't
of
want
how
to
he
be
makes
this
it.
person.
Matt, did
I
you
don't-
get the Bourbon Fray Ranch Lost Lantern?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because the label I'm looking at, I think is different, but I'm not sure.
That one right there.
Maybe it's just your camera, because that looks so red, but this looks
It's
so
very.
not.
It's like a brownish orange red.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Nevada straight bourbon whiskey. Fray Ranch Distillery. Soaring Spice is the
Oh, cool.
name.
They
Sick.
have a seal box single barrel rye, 130 proof,
Jesus
selected
Christ.
by Sealbox for Frey Ranch.
For Frey Ranch? Yeah, but like, how
Yeah.
old is it?
It's probably still only a 4 or 6 year.
I found that this thing kicks harder. It's not giving me much different in terms of flavor profile, though. It's just a stronger Frey Ranch. So,
Yeah, I mean, Frey Ranch is still a younger distillery, so they still have to get some time under their belt to be able to produce those more complex
yeah.
aged
Dude, Nat, at the hotel that we stayed at for our company thing,
Yeah.
they had the Discovery Series Bardstown. And oh my god, it was so good.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about it after we
Apparently
taste
I
this
finished
freaking
it all.
bourbon. I
Well,
want to
man-
taste this.
Let's taste it. I thought you were cleaning up, man.
No, I could taste while cleaning. I'm an adult.
Okay.
I have jeans on.
Cheers.
I don't actually have jeans on. Cheers.
Cheers.
53.
1 to 53.
Smells pretty good.
It
I'll have
does
to tell you
smell
about the
pretty good.
Japanese whiskeys too.
Oh, yeah, you do that. Yeah, light cinnamon on the nose. I get some toffee.
I think I might have noticed the toastiness. That's kind of neat. You can tell it's toasty because of the way it is.
Yeah, it has like
What?
some
Bro, don't tell me you haven't
coffee
seen.
notes.
Don't tell me you haven't seen the. You can tell it's an aspen tree because of the way it is.
I hate that.
Have you seen that?
I have not seen that.
Oh, you're in for something great.
I'm
Ash,
sure you will show me later.
mods, please find that. We need that video.
Oh my
It's an aspen tree because it's an aspen tree. I remember you showing me this years ago.
It's an aspen tree because of
Like
what
maybe
it is.
when you first
Stupid.
discovered it.
That's pretty neat.
Okay. So I'm getting toffee. I'm not getting. I guess I get a little
Yeah,
bit.
I get
I
toffee.
don't know if I get to tobacco. I guess that would be a nose.
Ooh. Does it say we're speaking? Let's see.
It says tobacco.
Well, I get the cinnamon. I see where they're going with the vanilla, toffee, cocoa with black tea. Yeah. I can
don't
see
get the
that.
black tea at all.
Tobacco and toastedness, I get tobacco and toasted notes definitely on the like on the flavor, but not in the smell.
Man, you
There's
know,
that
guys.
chocolate. That's cocoa.
Yeah, there's a chocolate.
Go ahead.
I
Anthony?
think with y'all's
The
permission,
tobacco is right at the end before the burn happens. Like right before the burn, there's like a note of tobacco.
Go ahead, Anthony. What were you gonna say?
I was saying while we savor this, Ash already found the video, so with y'all's permission,
Oh my God.
We don't have to.
Why? He
it's
pinned
but
it
it's
too.
2 minutes. It's 2 minutes.
He did pin it.
Y'all
Do we
want
have to
this?
watch the entire thing, or can we just watch the part that you were talking about?
It's so good, man. So good.
But what if it's bad?
I have already seen it.
But what if it's bad? Shouldn't
It's
I?
not bad.
God.
What if it's bad?
Can you hear it? Is it coming through?
I can.
Our nature walk,
Very
because we want everyone to know
Holy
how
crap,
neat
that's
nature
loud.
is, instead of just me and Rodney
Did that
knowing
fix
it.
it?
Yeah, that's better. You could probably come down a little bit more. Yeah, that's good.
I will
How neat is that?
voiceover
You'll
for
voice
the
over.
audience
That's
on my
pretty
stream.
neat.
That's pretty neat.
So we have a guy,
Without a doubt,
khakis.
coming out into
He's got like a
nature is one of the
brownish
neatest things
vest.
there is to do.
He's trekking.
you also have
He's
to be
kind of
careful.
like
That's why I always
appearing part
try
of
to
the
pack the
woods
heat, try to pack a gun.
and stating
Pack
anecdotes
some heat.
about
Now, this
life
isn't too-
that are
this
kind
isn't
of
much a
deep,
big boy. I don't wanna kill the
meaningful.
animal, but I do wanna warn it and say,
They
hey,
have a
I
lot
think you're
of
pretty neat, but I
flexibility in
respect
how
your
you could
distance.
apply
But
them
I
to
respect
your
your
own life.
distance.
There's mountain cougars and
Eric, you don't have a button for the stream?
Like bears and how you should respect
neat is that?
their
That's
distance.
pretty neat.
I hate. Oh God, I hate his little giggle.
His little giggle. All right, we can stop it right there. We can
Oh
stop
my
it.
also
fucking
wearing
God.
You'll have to see
a
more.
custom hat and leather tennis shoes.
Sorry, if anyone's watching on Eric's stream, I know that was painful for you guys.
Holy. Holy. It's a
Oh,
rough
man.
time for all of us. Oh.
Sorry, I thought we all had the shared stream, the shared screen thing by now.
We do. Well, I do.
Nat does.
No, I do not. I
Okay.
do not.
Okay.
I do
No
not.
worries. No worries. Yeah. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty. Shut up.
That's pretty neat.
Oh God, how neat is that?
That's pretty neat. How do you like your bourbon? I like it neat.
That
made it.
is an accurate statement.
Wow.
I do like it.
Wow. 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 Wow.
All right. Do y'all like this? How do y'all feel about it?
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like there are it's that kind of goes back and forth in my head. It is both complex, not complex, not tasty, good and bad.
Hmm.
And I think the reasoning is that sometimes when you take a sip of this, you get these wonderful cascading notes of tea and cinnamon, toffee and vanilla and chocolate. And then other notes quickly devolves into this harsh cinnamon and almost like a burnt cinnamon type of deal. And depending on how your experience in the mouth can either be really good and dynamic or not. And I think the reason that is because it's not like the mouth feel is very thin, kind of like washes down really quick, and it doesn't coat your mouth. So a lot of the effects and flavors don't kind of stay for me.
Get you a lot of that, Eric. Get you a lot of that, Anthony.
I thought so, but then at the end, I wasn't so sure.
Same.
What?
Towards the end,
no.
your internet started crapping out. So this is gonna be the time where Nat and I start talking, and we hope that your internet chills out.
For sure.
All right.
Go for it.
If,
All right.
if you
Here
hear,
we go. Here. Hey, I'm right now.
All right now. You wanna go? I go.
Hold
you-
on. Yeah.
Who's
I'm gonna
going
go.
here?
I'm gonna go ahead.
Tighten
and
your
go.
belt loops,
Hold
here,
on.
people.
Hold on. Now let me go ahead and make sure to situate myself inside my chair. Hold on. Just a little.
This is what the podcast would be like without Eric. Okay, so
Without
y'all should
Eric.
be grateful for
be a
his
lot-
greatness. All
it'd
right,
be a
because
lot of
his
things.
greatness helps us be great. But now that we're losing him, we're falling into madness.
It'd be a lot of.
Oh my goodness.
Got a lot of.
God, what
Hold on. I gotta get my hip in the right place.
Oh, there it is. Y'all hear that?
Maybe.
That was a loud one.
Okay, all right, here we go. So, all seriousness, I don't like this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I'm like not a fan.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I spilled a little bit. I feel that it tried to do a lot really fast,
There's a lot going on.
and there's a lot going on, and like with the flavor palette, the profile that they're giving, like with the vanilla, toffee, cinnamon, white pepper, cocoa, toasted tobacco, walnut, and black tea, like
All over
that-
the place.
it's a little all over the place in terms of just like ingredients. Oh, sorry, I guess not ingredients, flavor notes. And I could barely catch some of the bigger ones that they're supposed to be like promoting for this taste. And just all in all, I agree with Eric in the sense that the mouthfeel is just absolutely that like tepid. It's there and then it's gone. There's no like savory mouthfeel whatsoever. The flavor profile itself seems so convoluted in the actual tasting of the spirit that you don't get anything until the very end. You're getting flavor, but like there's no, like it's all in a rush. It's all jumbled together. There's no defining note of one thing. It's just a bunch of things at the same time at the exact same level. Like
Yeah.
there's an adage in well, there's just like a strategy in terms of like mixing for music, that if you want to create a good mix for just like audio, you can't set everything at zero. Not everything can exist at the immediate forefront of the song. You have to have nuance. You have to have like some things that come in at the very end, some things that create like an actual piece of digestible art. This was everything at zero for me until the very end, and then it was like, and then we have coffee. I'm sorry, not coffee. We have cocoa and a little bit of toastedness, and I was like, like the only thing I really have to say about it is that like the proof is good.
Mm-hmm.
Proof is good, and like the ending note is nice-ish, but overall it's really harsh for me at the very end, and so for me it's a no. I give this for me it's a 2. I wouldn't buy this
Okay.
if I was
Not a daily
asked. It
drinker.
was not a daily drinker.
And you would pay.
And I would pay maybe $30.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Anthony,
All right. So
your thoughts. Break it down.
I think that objectively, this might be a good whiskey for people, but probably not for any of us. And why do I say that? Because it reminds me of dark chocolate. I don't like most dark chocolate.
I
but
love
there
dark
are
chocolate.
some that I do. Interesting. Well, but the reason I think about it is because
Okay, go ahead.
when I'm chewing it, it's sweet, and that's great. Like chewing this whiskey, if you could just do that forever and then just spit it out, then you're good. Actually, no, it's probably gonna do the same thing when you spit it out.
Yeah.
When you swallow it, that bitterness is all you can think about. It's
Hey,
a
yo.
bit much.
Hey,
Yeah.
yo.
And so that's why it reminds me of dark chocolate. And I think some people really like that. So maybe if you really, really like to be bitter after you're sweet, you'll enjoy this. But I think we're a bunch of sweet boys here. So
Did you catch sweet at the very top of it?
in the beginning, like when I'm chewing it, it's very sweet.
Really?
I actually get that too. I also think this is a pretty sweet whiskey.
I was very happy until I swallowed. That's what she said.
Oh. Whoa. Pause. Whoa. Your wife is in the chat, bro. You can't just say that.
So sorry. I apologize.
You can't just say that.
I'm surprised Ash didn't say it first.
That's fair. But you can't just say that.
Oh man, I was on mop duty when we were volunteering at the food
That
bank.
is what I said, though.
Oh no!
Oh, and now it's embarrassing for you.
Oh no!
How
Oh,
the tables
no.
have turned.
Look at the turntables.
Look at the turntables. That DJ is really cutting it up.
Oh. But yeah, I totally agree. For me, it's definitely like a 2 out of 10. The bitterness, I just don't want it anymore. That's what kills it for me. But if you like that, I don't think it's a bad whiskey, because there's probably people that like it. I wouldn't buy it, even if it was like $20, I still wouldn't. I just don't want it. So like
less than $20.
Anthony's like I don't want
I just
it
don't
in
want- I don't-
my space.
I would so
Well-
much rather have Bullet, Woodford's,
Anything
Snickers,
else. Anything else.
any bare bones whiskey that isn't complex. Like I just tasted my Bullet, and Bullet is very straightforward. It's not that complex, but I enjoy it more than this.
I'm gonna try the blue note again. We'll see. We'll see how we feel.
I think that's fair. I'm sitting on the same type of fence. I think the only thing is, and this goes back to exactly what I said, some sips of this fall into the 4 out of 10 range, and some sips of this fall into the 2 out of 10 range. And I think the only problem is that oftentimes it falls closer to the 2 than it does the 4.
Mm.
And I think that's because of the viscosity, a lot of it. This is a very thin whiskey to me, and therefore it's like they said, it's trying to do so much, and there's a lot of flavors, but you don't get all of them in every sip. Sometimes you get more bitterness, more tobacco, more that chocolate toasted note at the end. Sometimes you get more of the toffee and the vanilla at the, and so it's either too sweet, not sweet enough, too bitter, not bitter enough. Like it just goes back and forth throughout the experience a lot. And I don't know how to fix that except for adding more viscosity. Right?
Tell it about how it finishes in your mouth.
It finishes.
Nope. Oh, don't gargle it. Don't gargle it.
Oh man, no. I take back what I said.
It finishes nice, thin, and not thick enough.
I mean, he did double down.
Yeah, 100%. But
Sorry if I heard that. I did not
I
mean to do
heard
that.
a little bit. It's
That,
okay.
that
It's
was
fine.
the live feature of. Okay, I gotta say, Nat, maybe you enjoyed this too, but one of the best things that has happened in my friendship with Eric is him getting an iPhone and not realizing that almost every picture you take and send to people does the live photo thing, and then me like watching him take the picture, and it's like. It's so much fun because it's like a little sneak peek into what he's doing, and he doesn't know that he can.
wait, when have I done this?
It's
Just-
automatically turned on for some of your photos there,
No,
bud.
no. I
I
totally
love it.
understand that it happens, but when have
Yeah.
I sent a photo to you?
I
It's
don't
probably
remember what
it's probably
it was.
been just to you, Anthony.
It could have been in a group chat or something. I don't.
That's fair.
I don't know. I just remember you got the phone, and then shortly after we got pictures from you, and it had the live thing, and then it was just like very still, but like live, and I don't know. It was just fun.
That's
Oh man. But yeah, what did you rate it, Eric? Did you give the rating?
this sits solidly as a 2.5 for me.
2.5. Okay.
It would
Honorable
not be a
mention.
daily drinker.
Nope.
I really want to see this, and here's the unfortunate thing.
Oh,
I haven't looked at the price
no.
about this. However,
Oh, no.
notoriously, Yellowstone is never cheap.
No.
So I would want to see this right around the $25 mark, honestly. And I think
It
even
is?
then it's rough. But I think it should probably be about $25 considering everything. So let's look up Yellowstone.
So I'm
I'm
surprised to hear you
terrified.
say that because I feel like someone recommended Yellowstone to me once because of it being cheap.
No,
hmm.
Yellowstone is always around the yeah. So for example, this sits right around $50.
No. That's $30 too many.
Yeah,
Mm.
here's a place selling it for $65, right? Like this is, it's just a lot of money for what isn't a lot of
What
whiskey.
isn't a lot of whiskey? It's really
You know?
not. I feel like it's such a weak whiskey. Like I would love to. Well, sorry, not weak in the sense that like it's like doesn't have a lot of spirit. I feel like it's just such a. It is such a trap. In
At
terms of like, oh, you're gonna get a
$66.
multi-nuanced whiskey. $66. What can you get?
you
Frey
have-
Ranch.
You can get a Frey
50.
Ranch.
Free range is 50.
Yeah, you could
And
get
free shipping.
You
Bruh.
could get a new Riff Select
Bruh.
for under the price. of
Let
one,
me tell you something about that new Riff Select.
right?
Nat,
I get an Elijah Craig single barrel toasted
Ooh.
for the same price as this.
Ooh.
Like
What were you
this
gonna
is just this
yeah.
is just crazy.
Nat,
Yeah.
never mind. It's sold out. I'm so sorry.
What were you gonna
I
say?
almost bought this the other day. This is why I bought the Blue Note because I kept trying to buy the extra bottle of whiskey on seal box,
Uh-huh.
and everything I clicked on was sold out. But one of them was the new Riff single barrel.
You do know that the one that I got is actually like unattainable at
I
this point.
do, but
It's
Okay,
all
okay,
single
okay.
barrels. to
but
be
Yeah.
fair.
it's possible to find
maddening
its
to me.
sister. You know, that might come
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
gonna buy it and have it here
Or
just in
something
case.
better.
Oh, yeah.
For
We'll just have to
news, you
find
know.
something better. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
No, we're gonna go.
You'll
No,
find stuff
Nat.
better.
We're gonna go to the new Rift Distillery. We're gonna find you one that matches it. All right, you're
Okay,
gonna taste
okay.
every barrel in the still house until you find it.
Oh God. I don't.
And then we're gonna buy the whole barrel. Just kidding.
because I
what we
love
should
you.
do. Later
And I,
this year, let's,
I think you deserve good things.
Good things. Good things. And we have to bring Mark.
Fair. Fair.
You know he'd be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, what I gotta do to buy this barrel for this guy? I barely know.
Dude, so guys, when here, I can do this. Oh wow, that comes
Oh
through
wow,
pretty
that's
well.
actually not bad.
Okay, so the one that is Ryujin whiskey,
Yeah.
the bartender was so excited. This was a whiskey flight I did in a Japanese restaurant. Can't speak for the authenticity, but it was really good. The Ryujin
Ryujin?
whiskey. If we can find this, like the bottle is super cool, you know?
Mm, it's
And-
very weeby, as it were. Probably not actually.
Yeah. Do I have an image? Okay, I will be sharing an image. It will not be on the mainstream. I am sorry, y'all.
That's okay.
But it is coming to mine, even though mine. Look, it's been a while, guys. It's been a while. Okay. Okay. Let us. So you can see this image here, and I don't know how to open it underneath yet.
Dang, yo.
What is the distillery for that?
Yo.
This looks super cool, right?
Ryujin is wasn't there a graph that we looked at that like went over what is real Japanese
Yes,
whiskey and what
But
isn't?
it's kind of older, so I'm trying to figure out
Oh, I see.
which distillery that is, because
Yeah.
that will let us
Mhm.
know for sure.
Yeah. So while you look that up, the bartender or server, she was so excited about this new bottle that they had just gotten in. She had to bring it over to show us, and so I got to see it in person, and it does look really cool. And I'm muted on YouTube. Thanks, Nikov. What the heck?
Appreciate you.
What
Wait,
is
you're
that?
muted on YouTube. What
I
do you
think
mean?
I think Nikov is watching me on YouTube, and I'm muted
Oh.
there.
How are you muted on YouTube but you're still playing here?
Dude, I don't know, man. Like,
YouTube.
Oh, hold up. Is it
oh, I
me?
think he's saying specifically me.
just you.
Like, he can hear you guys on YouTube, but not me. Guys, I love these streaming things.
Dude,
And
I
how
just
great
I
they
just
are.
love them so much.
Oh, it's using my Twitch down mix.
Oh, weird.
That's
Bruh.
great.
Bruh, we love it over here. Keep
Um,
us moving over to it.
I might have fixed it, Nikov. Thank you so much, Nikov.
Dude, you've
but
been
if I
muted this
didn't,
entire
I
time.
didn't. Anyways, so back to the Ryujin. It looks cool. It's amazing. In person, it's even better because of the golden dragon is actually like gold looking.
Okay.
I sniffed this whiskey, and the first note I got was rubbing alcohol.
Oh no.
Now, like I said, I don't want to bash this whiskey because it could have been a bad glass, you know, like a dirty glass or something weird. Who knows when you're at just like a random restaurant.
Uh-huh.
The first taste was great.
Second taste.
The second taste, rubbing alcohol, which is a little weird. Why would that happen? Maybe it was the glass. I don't know.
You got stank glass.
Yeah, maybe. Because the other two whiskeys that were there, the Umiki and the Kojiki, those were both really good.
Kojiki, umiki.
But something was going on with that Ryujin.
Umiki.
But you know what?
That's spelling.
I wouldn't mind buying the Ryujin just because you'll always have a really cool freaking bottle with a dragon wrapped around it. Like,
yeah, I was about to say sometimes you buy it
Even-
for the looks.
even if it's not good. Like, how many bottles of whiskey are expensive and don't look good? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the blue note is good. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. It
Yeah.
looks like the Ryujin is real Japanese whiskey. It's from the
Oh.
Irasaki distillery in the Yamanashi prefecture of Japan. and it is known for its haiku single malt and Ryujin single malt. They are known for their floral and balanced flavors. So you should be getting a lot of the traditional Minari oak cask, so oak notes, and floral seems to be their go-to.
Yeah, that's what it says on this thing too. Fruity and flora.
Hell yeah, brother.
Honey, orange peel, and white chocolate flavors. Mellow finish with a hint of oak.
Yeah.
We take
I
those.
think I had a weird glass.
I think so too.
Or they're like, we like this too much, don't pour them a real one.
Very possible.
Now, umiki is very interesting because,
Finished in the pine barrels.
yeah, it's finished in Japanese pine barrels.
Okay, so get this idea. I also wonder if they put them in the wrong order. Because the second one I loved, but if I think about it, rubbing alcohol is really sharp. Maybe piney. I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
Do
who
you
knows?
feel like they gave you
So,
the wrong
The
order to fight to
reason
see
they
if you
call
were a
it
real whiskey
umiki,
fan?
by the way,
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
umi means ocean, ki means tree.
Umiki.
So
yeah.
these pine trees are actually on the coast and draw in some of that
Salt.
the
Yeah.
ocean water.
Yeah. I'd explain the salt it is.
But guys, whatever you do, if you ever go to a Japanese place and they have a flight, definitely do the flight. But do not do the whiskey flight and then do a sake flight. Very different experiences.
Very different experience. Oh my
Very
god.
big mistake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you
I
do
feel
that?
like I feel
I
like
had
the
to make that mistake
flavor-
for you guys. Okay?
We did,
Okay,
you
I
didn't
had
have,
to
you didn't have to
prove.
suffer for me or Anthony for that. Absolutely not. Oh my
No,
god.
it was just a big mistake. I think actually a sake flight and then a whiskey flight would have been great.
Yeah,
but-
that'd probably be the way to go. Whiskey is just
Yeah.
so much more power, like kicky,
Oh yeah.
than sake.
Super
And
sweet
so-
sake.
or sake. So
Sake.
you're gonna
You can say it
go
either
into
way.
the sake, and you're not gonna be able to taste the intricacies of the floral and light herbal notes that exist there. You're gonna lose a lot of that.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. We are sure smart. So, this
Dude.
whiskey didn't do well for any of us across the
Yeah,
board.
not really. Now, to be fair, I've had a lot of Yellowstones, and they've all been about even in their score for me.
At a 2?
Yeah, I am not typically a
Wow.
Yellowstone fan.
Okay.
Yellowstone has not been my go-to whiskey brand at all. So, I mean, it is what it is. you
Okay,
know?
so weird thing though. Okay.
Shoot.
I just tasted it again after a long absence. And the bitterness at the end is not happening.
Well, look, like I said, for me, it was going in and out and back and forth. I think it honestly just depends on how it sticks inside of your mouth, how it kind of like goes back and forth.
But what if it's kind of like a pepper, you know, and if you eat enough peppers over and over again, Eric, you're the worst. If you eat enough peppers over and over again, it builds and builds and builds. It gets like too
I
hot.
was just saying.
Yeah.
What if it's
it
just
builds
like-
and builds and builds?
Just drinking too often.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not patiently drinking.
Yep. Just put
Causing
it
the
all in
bitterness.
there. Yep. It could be.
All right. So what did y'all do this week? I flew a plane.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy
Yeah, you got to fly a
moly.
plane this week.
Do you want to
I-
talk about that?
I flew a plane way more than I ever thought I would, Nat.
You flew a plane more than you thought you would ever fly a plane.
Okay, so we get up in the air, right? We get up to altitude, and Kirk goes, "All right, you want to fly?" I'm like, "Yeah, totally." Especially because this time I can actually see stuff. This was on the way home. On the way to our destination, couldn't see anything. All clouds. You're flying in a white box. It's like a horror movie, and then you're staring at like a tiny little screen, playing the most stressful video game of your life because you got to stay in the boxes, otherwise you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah. That's flying, guys.
That is
Stay
flying
in the
a nutshell.
boxes or die.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
because you don't want to crash into anybody. You got to trust that the guys that told you to go this direction didn't
Knew what
put
they were
anyone else
talking
in your
about.
way.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I flew for like an hour home all the way, and then he let me fly the approach to the landing. And
Oh, nice.
the worst
the
part
fuck?
is he's like, you see these things? Every time he says you see this,
You see
I
this?
don't see
Oh
it.
God.
And I don't comprehend what he's trying to describe. The first time we had plenty of time, he's pointing over there. I'm looking far left. He's actually talking far right.
Oh.
You know, we figured it out pretty quick. The worst part is we're maybe like 1,000 feet from the runway. He's like, you got to keep the that in the that. I'm like, yeah, we don't have time for this. We're about to crash or land is what I'm thinking, right? And so after that, he says, you're doing good. I'm like, I guess I'm aiming for the right
I guess
spot.
I guess I'm doing it right. Yeah.
I kid you not. I am like 300 feet away from landing this plane, and he finally says, my controls. I go, your controls! Because he asked me ahead of time, like, do you want to do the approach for landing? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Bro,
I
you
did
have
not
balls.
realize how close
You have got balls.
he was going to get me to landing the plane. At the end, he goes, yeah, so like if something happened to me, you totally would have been able to land the plane. You know, might not have been pretty, but you would have been fine. I'm like,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I
Is
was
that home already? Dang, that was
she
fast.
is? Yeah, wait, wasn't she
Out of town?
in another state?
Is that your dad?
Are you talking to
Somebody
me?
else.
Yes, you.
Is it
that
the
you?
cat
Is that
monster?
me?
That's my dad.
It's
Oh, okay.
Fasha.
Yeah, I was like, dude, it's
Oh,
probably
he's-
his dad.
Can he pick up the kittens and show us the kittens, Eric? No, he's
they're
leaving.
Sleeping. They're
Oh, they're
sleeping.
sleeping. He's
Yeah,
taking
we
good
ain't moving
pictures, though.
shit. Yeah, he's taking grandpa pictures.
Grandpa
Yeah,
pictures.
He's grandpa cat dadding over there.
Adorable. Is he also a cat person?
He's a reluctant pet person who ends up falling in love with the pet more than the person who reluctantly put him in. Yeah, Nikov, we got
Yo,
Taphaven kitties.
kitties.
They're in this
Oh,
little
dude, yeah.
box right here. But
Dude,
they're
Nikov,
sleeping,
yeah.
so-
Eric went through a lot today just to save those cats from wolverines and stuff like that. So if you want to hear
Yes.
about that, restart the VOD
Yes.
You'll
later.
have to watch it back. Dingus.
On the YouTube.
Anyway, you were saying that you would have landed you would have been landing
Not
but it
perfectly. He
would've been
said I
fine.
could have. He said I could have landed the plane.
Okay.
And you know, who knows if that means like on the wheels or on its belly. I don't know.
Wait, so like
Uh,
let me just get this picture straight. So you had wheels, you were at the proper angle.
Yeah.
And you
Lined
were
up.
coming in and you were
Mhm.
fine.
That's what
Okay.
he was saying. I mean, but the thing is, he was doing the throttle the whole time. I'm
I
just steering,
see,
right?
'cause I feel like the gas is probably like one of the most important
Yeah.
parts.
Yeah, so because after he said you could have landed, I was like, yeah, but I would have had to been doing the throttle, right? And he's
throttle,
like,
yeah.
yeah. I'm like, okay, you make it sound like that's not that bad of a deal, but like I feel like
Terrifying.
I don't.
Terrifying. You just described literally my nightmares.
I gotta say, like it was so much less scary to fly with him in a small plane than in commercial for me.
See what I mean? I told you this too, and you did not. I remember going through this, and you were like, I don't know about this. And from a statistics perspective, it is entirely less safe. However, there is something about, there's a few aspects of it that I feel really alleviate a lot of the issues for me when you're considering being a safe flyer, which I know he is.
Mhm.
One, the stall speed of these things is 40 miles per hour.
Okay, yeah,
essentially.
that's what I thought too. His is like 70.
Oh yeah, his is like 70, but
But it's still not all that bad when you think about
Yeah.
things.
Wait,
like I've
stall
literally
speed
hit a
means
wall at
you-
70.
Stall speed means when you hit it, your plane stalls, right?
yes.
So
Yes.
it's
And starts
really
falling.
Well,
I think it starts falling.
I should say that is with 0 wind speed.
Okay.
Your stall speed is
A
70
variable.
at 0 wind speed. You got to
Gotcha.
remember that if you're going against the wind, then your stall
Did you
speed
just
is
say
actually-
remember? like I've done a flight school, Eric. How
Sorry,
fucking
sorry.
what
I
the
was-
hell?
I was considering physics class, to be fair, but Essentially, if you're going into the wind or if the wind's behind you at some variability, that stall speed actually changes. It either goes up or goes down. And so that's all stuff you can figure out in the air. But essentially, for example, in this plane, if you were to have an incident, you're going to glide down, find a place to land, and you're going to go at an angle to which you stay above that miles per hour. And
Yeah.
you are going to essentially land at around that speed.
It makes sense.
The neat thing is on his screen, there's constantly a outline showing where he could land if the engine died
Yeah.
at his current velocity and
Yeah.
height and all that stuff. Like just a week ago, someone landed on a golf course.
Sometimes technology is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Oh, little known fact. Well, actually, you probably already know this. You know the stealth bombers, like those like all black, the Blackbirds. Sorry.
Yeah, the ones that look like alienous.
Yeah.
Alien-esque.
Yeah. Did you know that their entire like metal chassis around it is the gas tank?
That's
Yeah.
the crazy thing. At one point, he was like, "That's the gas tank in the wing."
Yeah.
And it's like, he was telling me like, there's not a tank in there. When you attach that part of the wing, it is sealed, and the gas is just in it.
Yeah.
It is the tank,
That's crazy.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
weird. And then Kirk is like building a new plane, and he's like, "I'm gonna like extend the gas tank like a few more rivets." And I was like, "Oh,
He wants to fly farther.
yeah."
Farther.
Having more fuel is always a good thing.
Dude, what was really funny is when we got to Chattanooga and we're Ubering to the hotel, the Uber driver starts to tell us about him being a pilot and the plane that he inherited from his dad that expends like 1,000 pounds of fuel per hour.
Jesus.
Kirk's expends 10 gallons per hour, by the way.
What the hell?
Okay. And,
Oh,
and
you
he's
weren't there.
Is this thing cooking?
Oh, you weren't there. We were sitting at a different table. You weren't there for this whole conversation. You only heard Kirk's in car talk.
no. I
You
know
got
more.
everything?
Yeah. But you go
Go.
ahead. I want you to start talking now.
What's
Oh
that?
my god. So
What?
Kirk comes to our table.
Yeah.
And we have another guy that we work with, and he's talking to him, and he's like, yeah, there was a guy. He picked us up from the airport, and he was spouting nonsense to us for like 20 minutes. Like absolute nonsense. My whole radar went off. He was like this heavier set dude, and he was talking about this. And then another one of our coworkers was like, wait, did he look like this? Did he have this? Turns out the same guy picked up two of our people to bring them to the convention center.
And had the same lie.
And he lied to both of them. This guy was spouting all kinds of nonsense. Like he couldn't fit inside of the cockpit that
This
he
guy
said he
was
flew.
so large, like 400 pounds, that he didn't fit in his car. He didn't have a seatbelt on.
I see.
He-
Wow.
And he was talking in like miles per hour about his plane. When you talk about a plane, you're talking knots.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
Kirk is like looking at Wikipedia while he's sitting next to me, trying to quiz this guy because he's a little iffy about it.
Yeah.
And when we get back to the hotel, when he gets to his room, he calls his brother, who's much more flight savvy and ship savvy. What are they called? Airplane savvy, whatever. He's like, yeah, there's
Aircraft.
no way. All of this is incorrect. Like
His
that,
brother flew the plane that the guy said he flew.
and it's
And
not
was like,
1,000.
no.
It's not 1,000 pounds per hour. It's no more than like 400. Also, yeah, that guy could not fit in the
Oh, no,
pilot
it's
seat.
2,000 pounds per hour.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, it's a commercial plane. That was one of the things that made it weird.
A commercial. Oh.
Yeah, you can't actually buy the plane that he said as a private plane. So
Oh
his
my
father
God.
owning it doesn't make sense. It's a commercial plane that is
Mhm.
done for commercial use.
Yeah.
And so he was like, that doesn't make any sense. Like everything.
But apparently,
everything that this
I
guy
think he
said.
made this lie up with a recent issue that happened where this was real, where people were flying blind in the air, I guess, because air traffic control for a major area went out
Ooh.
or something. But he acted like he was in the air in that situation and was running out of fuel.
Ooh.
And he was like, "I'm never gonna do that again. I'm always gonna top off my fuel." It was interesting. He's probably a compulsive liar.
Yep. Sounds like it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
a no for
very
me,
well.
lads.
Banned. Get out of here.
Banned.
I got him.
All right. What did we play?
Ooh.
Oh wait,
mine-
no. We were saying like what we did over the weekend. No, or was that an excuse to talk about the airplane?
Well, I think the thing is that I guess it has been 2 weeks. It has been 2 weeks, hasn't it?
It has been 2 weeks.
I've played two games.
I played one game.
I
Played 75.
so I'll talk about the one we haven't played together, and then we can
Okay.
all talk about what is probably the game of the year for me and Ned.
For sure.
And then Anthony can interject at any moment with the games that he's played, because I know there's one on there that I want to hear about because I want
Banned.
to know how he did. So I have been playing Oblivion Remastered.
Oh.
A crap ton. Essentially, I have a stream game and a non-stream game at any point in time. My non-stream game right now, Oblivion Remastered, and man, it's just such a nostalgia trip, and it's so good. And there are so many things that I just loved about Oblivion. When I grew up, I played Oblivion for thousands of hours. I 100% at Oblivion as a kid. And so to play it again is just with updated graphics, updated combat, is just super, super fun. It's just a great RPG story world, open world game that doesn't do all of the new age open world nonsense. It's just you explore stuff, you find stuff, you run into quests, and the quests turn out to be good. And there's cool little stories and craziness and gods and nonsense, and it's just great.
Have you beat it before, Eric?
I've beaten it hundreds of times.
Okay, just making sure.
I have fully 100%ed
I have a
Oblivion
question,
before.
which you
Yes.
probably can't answer. Okay.
Okay.
For someone like me, who's a compulsive, play an awesome game like this and never beat it, so I've never beaten Skyrim, should I play this game or should I beat Skyrim first before I could actually potentially?
Let's be
beat
real,
this game?
buddy. You're not gonna beat
I-
Skyrim.
Yeah, I think
You're-
it's
you're
one
just
of you
not.
should just play and enjoy it.
Don't
the thing is,
don't lie to Merrick. Don't lie to Merrick.
No,
he just
no,
he
no,
told
I-
he told himself the answer that he needed to hear.
So-
I think Oblivion and Skyrim are great in that you don't have to finish them to enjoy them.
Here's the problem. I finished Way of Kings. I'm
He's a
gonna
new
finish
man.
the whole series.
He's a new man.
Okay.
No, I'm just
okay.
saying, like any book.
Say the words.
Yeah, I think there.
Life
I think
before
the
death.
problem for me. I think the
Journey
problem for
before
people like me
destination.
is just. Okay, we're done.
no. Go ahead.
It's probably the lack of rails. I think that's probably why I've said it before that if it's gonna be a story, I want it to be on rails.
That's fair.
The li-
I
it-
think
there's
this
not
isn't
enough
a
rails, I can't play.
story game. So here's the interesting thing. Here's what I love about Oblivion and Skyrim. I don't think they're story games. I think they do such a good job at just letting you engage with the stories or acts that you want. They are probably, and I think
So, like-
Oblivion does this better than Skyrim, to be fair. And the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind does this even better than Oblivion, in my opinion. But you can go into Oblivion and just engage with what, like, literally pick a shiny building, walk inside, and I guarantee you it can lead you on some quest that is going to be just weird, fun, small story. And you never have to, like, try to find story. They just fall in your lap. And you can engage with pieces of each one and never finish any of them. And I think have a fun time.
Yeah.
Is it an immersion thing? Like
Yes.
you feel like
Yes,
you're
very much
in the
I have to
world.
assume. Yeah.
Yes, you just feel like you're falling into situations inside of the world that build up. Like there are so many dependent quests that are literally just inside of the city. They have nothing to do with any story thing, but you walk in this city and some guy's like, my wife lost a ring, and you end up on a 45-minute mini series learning about this guy and his wife and killing a corrupted mud crab that stole her ring. Like, that's, you don't have to even finish that to enjoy the nonsense that is the first 10 minutes of that quest, and then you're on to killing vampires or whatever you were doing.
So for those of us that have never played Oblivion, but we've played Skyrim, is there a big difference? Like, why is it better than Skyrim?
I wouldn't say bitter. I think it's just different.
And no. So here's the thing. Because I've played all of them, and my favorite has always and will always be Morrowind, the third one, for a lot of different reasons. However, as there are obviously 5 games out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, essentially. So each game essentially took down the scope and made a more railroaded experience for every individual thing, and took out the quirkiness and the weird branching paths and the weird just falling into situations. And added in more depth to the singular storylines. So, for example, in Oblivion, you do the mage's quest, and it's not some like be a part of the mage's and earn your rank through the mage's, do all of these things. And that experience feels fun, engaging, crazy, weird, and like you do cool stuff. In Skyrim, instead of it just being a quirky quest line that you get to engage with and kind of have fun with however you want, it forces it into a semi-epic storyline that has to change the world inside of Skyrim.
Fair.
And that is every single storyline that you run into in Skyrim. You run into less small, quirky ones that are just fun and more, oh, I am 4 quests in, and I know this is going to be an epic landscape-changing storyline that essentially could be the main story, and it's just for the Fighters Guild, or for this guild, or for the person.
So that sounds so much more attractive to me, because I remember one of my playthroughs in Skyrim, it was one of these side quest things was just too long. Like it was so encompassing. I'm like, look, I was just curious, you know, if I want a big massive story, let me go back to the main storyline or something.
And here's the thing, I love Skyrim, but it is a game of 40-ish different main story level quest lines. And they're all fun, they're all great, they're all amazing. In Oblivion, there is one main story and 500 different small short stories that you can engage with, and the guilds go a little bit farther than side quests, but they don't ever reach the level of the 2 main stories, the 3 main stories, I guess, because there's the main story and then 2 expansion stories that are equivalent to main stories, essentially, right? So you essentially have 3 main stories in Oblivion, like 10 semi stories that are a little bit longer but not main story, and then hundreds of small short stories, right? And so and essentially, the farther you go back in the Elder Scrolls history, the more it is one main story with hundreds of small little things. And the closer you get to Skyrim, the more main questy you get. So like Oblivion has the guilds feel like half main stories. But if you go back to the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, they feel even less so. It feels like you're actually in a guild. You rank up, And then as you get closer and closer, do more things for the guild. Oh, all of a sudden hey, you've done more for the guild than everybody, so like you're the head of the guild.
Interesting. It just so what am I trying to say? So I feel like there's a problem in more modern Skyrim, basically, that could be solved, and it can be solved in the way that a good book is written. So in A Way of Kings, there's a ton of offshoots of little stories, but you always come back to the main story quickly. Now, once the first book is over, now you have an opportunity to go on another big main story, right? So, like, what if in a video game like Skyrim, they did a similar thing where you keep it more like Oblivion, and then after they've completed the first main story, now they have the opportunity to go in a different direction with whatever they want to be their new main story, whether it's a guild main story or some
Sounds
other
like-
situation.
Sounds like Destiny 2.
No, really?
Yeah.
I think the only thing is that in Skyrim, I think people wanted the guild stories to be more in depth because people love the guilds.
Mhm.
Like that is one of the driving features. In Skyrim, some of the guild quests, in my opinion, beat out the main story by tenfold. I think it is both its strength and its weakness. There is something to be said that for the general audience, Skyrim is so popular because people like that. What they did
That approach.
You know,
more.
you know what kills me in these games? And there's many like them, not just Skyrim. You have a quest log, and then you have like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 quests that are active. Instead of the game being like, look, can you get to the end of the chapter on what you're working on right now before you start something else? But you're reading like 50 chapters at a time. That's just
Well, I will say, Elder Scrolls 3 doesn't make that better because there's no quest log.
oh man.
And you're just part of 150 different small quests.
Honestly, it might be better. No, literally like looking at the quest log and being like, wait, why is it so long? That's one of those things that makes me go,
Yeah,
Oh,
no. I
I'm
couldn't
not
tell
gonna
you how many
play.
times in Morrowind I'm like, I stumble upon a cave and I find a ring and it gives me the little quest updated ding. Or like I see that and I remember and I'm like, oh, that's right. I did talk to this girl 500 hours ago and said that I would go hunt down her husband's assassin and get this ring back. Yeah, I
do
did
remember
that.
that.
But you know what? This ring has a pretty good enchantment, so maybe I'll just never talk to her again.
You're
that's
fucked.
great.
You're a terrible person.
But yeah, Oblivion Remastered is everything that I would want Oblivion Remastered. It is sad. It makes me want the Elder Scrolls 6 even more.
Yeah.
And it also drives me insane that they didn't do Morrowind before they did Oblivion, but
Yeah. You would think.
I don't know. The Morrowind is such a just timeless classic of a game. I have played it so many times.
Do you feel like they didn't touch it because they knew it was even more deeply rooted into the fandom than
No.
Oblivion?
No, I felt like they did Oblivion because it's easier to do because of the communication system in the Elder Scrolls 3
Mhm.
is so much more expansive. So it has one of the best dialogue situations in gaming. So you go, you talk to somebody in Morrowind. Their chat box pops up. On the left-hand side are all the topics that you can ask them about. But inside of the chat box, they have topics that are hyperlinks. So you can figure out more information about what that person
I
knows
see.
about what is inside of the conversation.
It's a lot more intensive design-wise. Yeah.
So every single character in the game has 1,000 different things that you can ask them about. And it makes the world feel alive because you're like, hey, oh, you mentioned the Imperial Guard. What do you think about the Imperial Guard? And that won't be an option on the left-hand side. You have to like talk to them about town talk. And maybe they'll be like, oh yeah, the Imperial Guard was here yesterday. And the Imperial Guard will have a blue hyperlink. And you can click on the Imperial Guard. And they'll be like, I don't know if I trust those Imperial Guard folk. And then that may have like some other hyperlink that may be like, I don't trust these guys. You know, I saw them go into that watchtower out east of here, and
Yeah.
watchtower will be highlighted, and you'll click on the watchtower, and he's like, yeah, I don't know what anybody does there, but there's a watchtower
But
east
it got
of here.
them there wetched
And
hair.
then all of a sudden, you have learned what this person thinks about the Imperial Guard, that there's a watchtower east of here that nobody really knows about, that's not part of, and the guards are sneaking there at night. And you're like,
3 for
what?
3.
And there's no quest, there's no nothing. And you go east, you go to this watchtower, and you might resolve a dozen conflicts by going there, clearing it out, getting the loot, and figuring out that the Imperial Guard is like up to no good there. Or maybe you learn that they're smuggling skooma, which is a drug there, and stuff like that.
Scuba.
So this is like a weird thing that I think many gamers don't really know about. So Baldur's Gate blew people's mind, or Baldur's Gate 3, sorry. And it kind of is the first modern game to bring back that kind of thing. Would you agree, Eric? Where that kind of thing being very deep, like conversation text-based availability in a game, where it
Yes, Baldur's Gate 3 is like 10% of the way to Elder Scrolls 3. And it's the first one to even come above single digit percentages in a long time. And the reason that Baldur's Gate 3 was so engaging in that way is that they also had all these story bits. So Baldur's Gate 3 in the communication aspect is like 10% of Morrowind, but it ups the game from Morrowind in the sense of how that affects the long-term story. The one thing that I will say, Morrowind doesn't branch the story bits a lot. It branches how you can get the information to get to different story bits.
Yeah, and so when you talk about that, you remind me of something that most people have never experienced, which is literally text-only games.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
I think
that is why they could do it.
Yep.
yeah, and so what is it? Morrowind is old enough that those creators probably had a lot of experience in text-only games, and they brought it into the game in a satisfying way. But as the game industry exploded into 3D graphics, that sort of thing,
Fell off by the wayside.
yeah, because everyone's like, what looks the best? What's the coolest visually? And then
I need to be stimulated.
exactly. And so yeah,
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, Oblivion took out all of that communication because they wanted more voice acted lines. So they did all of this voice acting. So now you can't ask people about stuff. Morrowind would have so much voice acting, it would
be nigh
probably
impossible.
dwarf
Yeah. That file
every
size would be huge.
game in existence for voice acting if they
Yeah.
voice acted the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that wraps me around. That is 100%. That communication system alone is why I think they chose to do Oblivion first.
Makes sense.
I think this is also why, like, in modern gaming, I'm muted for the Twitch stream too.
Bruh.
What do you mean? I can see it. No.
Are we in a shared chat anymore either? I don't think so.
What?
Are we not in a shared chat even?
Oh my gosh, it stopped sharing again. What is
Bruh.
happening?
Hi, Umbra. Thanks for letting me know. I
You know
might have
what? This
just
might be
fixed
a
it.
recording live only episode for people.
Yeah. Hey, I fixed it. Oh man. So Nikov told. Oh.
And now
Echo.
there's an echo.
Oh man.
everything.
Tonight, dude, I'm telling you, today,
Not a good day.
it's just been crazy.
Rough day.
But,
Oh,
but
no.
we got, so, you win some, you lose some.
I don't even know. I'm just breaking everything.
They're,
Is there
they're
still an echo?
adorable, though. They're curled into each other, little ball just passed out.
Adorable.
Dude, what I was trying to say is that people get blown away by not novellas, Um, the games where you click and it's Doki Doki, you know.
Clicking.
Doki Doki.
Click and point adventure game or.
But those
Uh,
games where there's not much going on gameplay wise in a way,
Yeah.
but you're experiencing like a book with multiple endings and stuff like that. Mellow is also echoing, but that's on my stream.
Yeah.
That I actually kind of expected. I don't know why, but
Oh,
for
that's
some
because
reason,
the Twitch, the shared chat thing, you might have to mute us there. Or mute
yeah,
them.
I'm just gonna mute y'all right there, and I think I got rid of the echo for them. I don't know what's happening there. We're gonna
Okay.
switch to
Check it
meld soon. I hear your meld is where it's
Hell
at.
yeah, Mel baby. Oh yeah.
No, now I can't hear anything because I muted the video. Okay.
Oh, don't mute
Oh,
that.
Mel baby.
Mute just the Twitch one, the shared
Yeah,
chat one.
yeah, that one. Yeah.
Hey
Mel,
guys, I can
baby.
hear you again.
There it goes. All right.
Not getting any clips out of this stream from me.
None. None.
So that's Oblivion. Is there any other Oblivion things, Boo? Do you want to
No,
share?
it's just been super fun. I do use so I do use two mods.
Garbage.
Just because
You're garbage.
the
Absolute
just
trash.
because
You're a trash person.
the way that they decided to do difficulty scaling is insanity in Oblivion.
Mhm.
Either it is way too easy or monsters take an hour to kill. Like those are your two
Nah.
options. So they thought that like easy is one times your damage, or normal is like one times your damage, one times your damage taken, right? Hard is like 3 times damage. They do 3 times the damage, and you deal less than half your like 25% of your damage. So already the jump from like normal to hard is crazy.
Mhm.
Master 6 times their damage. Like 10%
I'm sorry,
damage, which is
but
insanity.
speaking of playing games at a very hard level, when are we going to continue our
Ooh,
playthrough
We do
of
need
Space
to do that.
Marines?
We should look at that maybe Friday.
Baby.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Probably
baby.
do Friday.
We'll
I think.
discuss. We'll discuss. Yeah,
Hmm.
the scaling sounds nuts though. So I installed a mod that just lets me change the difficulty scaling. Yes, this is hard master in Oblivion, and just changes it so that it's more reasonable. So now they do like 4 times damage, which is hard, but like it's punishing, but it's not too bad. But I deal half of my damage. So it's harder. They hit just as hard as they do in hard, essentially,
Mhm.
but I actually deal damage to them still. And it becomes like, oh, I can take 3 hits. They can take like 5 hits. But so it's punishing still. I get block. I gotta still do it. But yeah.
Rough times.
Yeah. Yeah, to make it balanced, I basically did 0.5 to 4. Yeah, 100%. And I feel like that's pretty essentially I can make 2 mistakes per battle. Right? And if I make more than 2, I die.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it sounds like Space Marines trying to get through the tutorial so you can play with your friends, but not
Sounds
get through tutorial to play with friends because you play it on a hard difficulty.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So, yes, there are a lot of things you can do to essentially break damage in the game that kind of just happen as a natural result of you leveling up. So, you typically do a good amount of damage. So, like you doing less damage
Half is good.
yeah.
It's a
You
good
doing
balance.
it half is a good balance. Because like I play it's like a mage blade type of a spell blade type of character.
Mhm.
So damage is dealt well, essentially. I feel like
Dealt
0.5 to
well.
4 is pretty good. But yeah, that's been Oblivion. So,
Tight.
Anthony, what have you been playing?
Anthony, what have you been playing?
Well, the only thing that comes to mind is V Rising because that's what I've been playing for the past like.
So why don't you
2
talk about
days.
it? Why don't you?
And I also messed
talk
with some
about it?
in-game settings and scaling and stuff like that. So I
Oh,
got a
yeah.
dedicated server going for me and my wife to play on an old computer, which is very satisfying. It took a little bit of troubleshooting to get set up, but it's really nice to both be able to go into the same private server, and we don't have to worry about anything. Like the castle's never gonna decay, and we can teleport with our stuff because I think teleporting with certain stuff being limited is great for PvP in games like V Rising and Valheim, but
Hold on, I'm gonna interrupt you. Can you
Yeah.
tell your stream elements to chill? How dare
What?
it tell me that I need to move my body and hydrate?
funny thing is I feel like I should have said that a long time ago.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
it really should have. It really should have.
I'm always shocked by how very not often it talks,
Oh
because
my
I'm pretty
God.
sure it's supposed to be way more often telling us to have some water and move around and stuff like that.
Absolutely not, sir.
It's been
Struggle.
It's been an hour and 47 minutes, so I don't know what it's smoking over there, but
It's high on copium.
but yeah, we've been playing V Rising. I think we've experienced some new things that are not huge. For instance, I'll use an ability that is a weapon ability, and then it'll say free charge. I was like, what? Oh, I can do it again immediately. So you do your roll through the air and bash with the mace, and then immediately you can do it again. And so I don't think I had anything special about that. I think it was almost like a critical hit type of situation where it randomly happens.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. But of course, today I went in and edited so for the past day or two we've been playing it natural, but today I changed a bunch of settings. I made it free to build stuff, so I built a really big base that's 4 stories tall, has a dungeon,
Sir.
and has a servant's quarters.
You
and
just
then
went
has-
ham.
Yeah, I mean it's so easy to build when it doesn't cost anything.
Yep.
That's fair.
But but I didn't change everything, so it still costs to craft, and I'm not gonna make it easy to do the combat and stuff like that. But I feel like all those restrictions on building only really make sense when you're doing PvP.
PvP.
Mm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. And honestly, V Rising is incredible. It makes me wish that the Valheim PvP stuff was more like V Rising, where
Yeah.
where it was actually an option. I mean, I'm sure some people have figured it out in a way, but Valheim is so big, I don't know. You're just probably too far separated to really do a Valheim PvP server, even though the game would be really cool
Right.
for
It
it.
would be really good for it. Yeah. I would second that.
But yeah, it's been really fun. We started playing on the Steam Deck, but of course, playing on the computer for building is just so much better. And having a mouse to just quickly click all over the place and just build to your heart's content, kind of probably I almost said Micro Center, Minecraft.
I have to wait. Hold on.
I never really played it though.
I have to assume playing on the Steam Deck has to be wicked difficult in terms of combat.
In combat, it's I mean, it depends on the abilities.
Because you have to aim it. You have to go ahead and press the button. You
For an
also have to-
AOE, yes, terrible.
Yeah.
For not AOE stuff, great.
I mean, are you because it's what you have 4 abilities on top of your attack abilities?
You technically have
6,
2 spells, ulti,
2 spells,
3 weapon
ulti, 3
abilities.
weapons abilities.
and
Yeah.
then you have 8 weapon slots now. They've changed.
So,
it.
in case you didn't know, V Rising is on the PlayStation 5.
Oh,
which
it's true.
It is controller only. They have really good controller
They do.
default behavior.
And even
Um,
for switching weapons too, because they make they make it so that you can every button can turn to a quick swap. So you hold on, that brings up your quick swap to weapon, and you can press your weapon and then immediately press the ability.
I see.
Yeah.
It is a little bit faster on PC, but
would have to
there are some
assume.
people that are really good at on controller.
Yeah, and I think like when you do an AoE, it automatically tries to go to your target. So
There's a little bit of AI support for you.
yeah, the hardest part is like, oh, they're moving and I want to aim here instead.
Yeah.
That's definitely gonna be
like trying to lead. Yeah.
yeah, way harder than with the mouse. But if it's just like a straight shot, you know, you're just like chaos bolting or something, like yeah, that's you're just
Doable.
aiming. It's
Yeah.
no big deal.
And if you're doing
Um,
PvE only, then it's like
Yes.
you're fine.
Yes,
Like-
exactly. But building, like even building was fine. It's just I'm a little bit crazy when it comes to building, and I like to build an insane, massive.
I mean,
Place.
building in V Rising is so good. So
It
good.
is. Yeah, their only weakness is changing the color of something, which is still actually pretty quick. It's just that you should be able in V Rising you can like quickly change the ground from being this ground to that ground, right? But if you want to
Yeah.
change the color of the ground, you can't make that change. You have to hold a modifier to make that change instead.
Oh, that's annoying.
So you can't just like spam click it. You have to hold modifier and drag your
Drag.
mouse to the right color or something like that.
Oh.
That's the only thing they did bad, which isn't even that bad.
I
Like
was about to say, anytime you're thinking about picking from 1,000 colors, it's like there's going to be some complexity to it. So I mean,
yeah. Well, even then they were smart enough to only have like 6 or 7 colors available,
Yeah.
so that the scroll wheel, not scroll wheel,
well, that's
radial
from the free
menu.
one.
It's also for the
Yeah,
Mm.
because you can buy all the special DLC like caps and add more variations in colors.
you want to
Mhm.
get crazy with it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Have you done any of the new DLC content or the area yet?
No. I mean, we have barely started. We're
started?
still in zone 1. It does make me think that a game like V Rising would really benefit from a D&D-esque weekly 2, 3, 4 hour sessions, because I mean, I'm sure we would love to, like we had a lot of fun with V Rising. We try to find a good server, but they're always on servers. Yeah, I think you need, hey, everyone's playing on Tuesdays from 7 to 10, and
Yeah.
and it goes on for months, you know, and that
I
would
just-
be
I still stand by my original statements of V Rising still from what I've seen.
Same.
It is an amazing game that should have done servers with automatic meshing so that everybody's playing at the same time and you're playing with people of similar like everybody's castle that's loaded into your version, everybody the server shard, and people in your area on their castle are your level. People in the next area, their level. People in the next area, their level. So you're always playing against people. The server,
Like
like there's
level.
always like a certain number of people in the shard that are playing. Their castles are live, and it just rolls as people go on and off. You join different servers, etc. It would have been so nice, but
that's
I
the-
mean, the team just couldn't develop that type
it
of
is,
server.
that is a
coding.
very complex thing to
100%.
create,
100%.
and that's why realistically my suggestion is something they can do,
yes,
because they
I
already
agree.
have time slots for raiding.
Yeah,
Do
I
time
agree.
slots for playing the game.
Yeah, I agree. That would 100%, because that is the biggest issue, is that if you want to play V Rising and get the most, quote unquote, most out of V Rising, then you either have to be like you and play like on a super private server with only friends for
Yeah.
PvE, or you have like 4 or 5 days to grind the crap out of the game and stay with a progression server, and you get to enjoy it for 5-ish days.
Well, yeah, because it's like a freaking Le Mans. It's like a
Yeah.
24-hour sprint for 5 days straight, where everyone's trying to
Yeah.
go as much as they
Yeah.
possibly can, and that's cool. But you can
can't-
only so
you
many
can only
people can do that.
Yeah, exactly. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can enjoy it. It's just hard, and it is super fun. And honestly, one of the best gaming experiences that I've had in the past few years has been doing that on V Rising. That was super fun. But like you said, you just it
requires a
burns out
lot.
fast. It burns out. Well, even
It's not
then,
just that; it requires the life situation
Yeah.
to make it happen.
yeah.
If
And
you have
even if you do
responsibilities
it-
outside,
Yeah, 100%. But even if you do it, even if you do grind it out like that, look at the player drop off of V Rising after release, and you will see that like,
Yeah.
people cannot sustain that, even the people that love it. So
but it's
Great
still one of
game.
the best games like I've
it
ever
is.
seen.
It is.
And
We only hate on it here
Ah.
because of how much we actually like almost everything else about V Rising.
It's almost all
sure. Like,
perfect. It's
I
just-
still stand by how I wish like games like World of Warcraft were
More
based
like
on the
V-Rising.
mechanics of V Rising. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I agree. The combat mechanics are some of the best combat mechanics ever done. Hands down. Full stop.
Yeah.
full stop. All the
So,
balls.
I think that leads us to the finale.
The obscure finale.
Claire Obscure.
Bro.
Expedition 33. Nat, bring us on your journey without spoilers because you know where I'm at.
Man.
Oh, I see. Without spoilers for Eric.
Wait, so what act are you in, Eric?
You
still in Act
literally watching my stream when I got off last time.
Okay, so you're still in Act 1.
I am still.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
am I?
Then okay.
I just got out of the mansion. I just got out of the mansion.
Okay.
And met
You're
the
still-
little
are you
dude that
still
we talked
underwater?
about. Yes.
Okay. Fuck. Okay. So the game is beautiful. The game
Beautiful.
sounds beautiful. The game looks beautiful, and
Question.
I haven't experienced a voice acting like
Hold on.
I haven't experienced a voice
Slow down.
acting.
I'm going to set this
excellence
game up for you
ever.
guys. Okay? Because I haven't played it, but I've experienced Nat experiencing it slightly while Jason had him play it. Okay. I'm playing Marvel Rivals. Nat starts playing this game instead of playing Marvel Rivals with me. That's okay. I don't mind because
Yeah,
Jason
yeah.
comes in beforehand and says, Nat's playing a game that I really want him to play. And I'm like, okay, man, that's cool. Whatever. I'm shooting people. Nat's up here on my screen. He's playing this game. Eventually, he gets to the point where he's like, oh, crap. D&D is 5 minutes ago. I'm late. I gotta go. Jason goes, Nat, before you leave, you cannot play this game again without streaming it. You need to tell me personally that this game, that you are streaming it because you're about to hit this cutscene and I need to see you do it. He was very adamant about that. And you agreed and hopefully you fulfilled. So
I
it
did.
is a game where Jason already played it and it is so good that he's like, I need to see you play this game. I need to see your reaction.
There have been multiple moments where Jason has been like, dude, are you about to play? And I'm like, yeah. He is like, dude, are you going to stream it? I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going to stream it. And he's like,
It
okay,
sounds to me
okay,
almost
I'm
like
cluing in.
it sounds almost like you're reading a book, but you're actually playing a book, and people want to watch you play
Very
the book
much
instead
so.
of read the book.
Very much so. And it's like, I'm now scared when Jason joins up. Cause like sometimes like the story elements just hit you really like they just come out of left field, you know?
Oh, very emotional.
Yeah, it's like really good. Like the emotional
Mm.
storytelling that's played and like that's written through this entire series is really good. Don't watch any of my VODs, Eric. I'm very
not-
far ahead.
I've only been
at this
doing
moment.
chat only
Okay.
listens of
Okay.
your stream.
You don't
So-
want to.
so-
You don't want to do anything.
So without spoilers, because somebody hasn't read this yet, are you saying it's kind of like Words of Radiance when the ship disappears? The ship becomes not a ship, and something major
I
happens.
will say no. Oh, man.
no.
It's not that. It's not that emotional.
I will say there is an emotional
Oh, man.
moment near the beginning that is very similar to the first book when what's his name? Alistair?
Aladar, Aladin, Adolin,
No,
Dalinar.
not Adolin. The guy
Alucard?
in Paladin's
Sadeas?
first. not Sadius. The guy under Sadius, the
The
general,
boy?
the
General.
general who betrays Kaladin. in the first book.
Is he the
Yeah.
one who
I know what you're talking about. He's a High Lord.
Yeah,
High
High
Elokar?
Lord.
Elokar?
Right.
Not Elokar.
No, it's not
It's an
Adolin.
army.
not
It's the
Adolin.
first army that he serves in.
Yeah, it's
Oh, Amaram.
Amaram.
Amram. Yes.
Yeah,
Amram.
yeah.
Amaram. There's a moment near the beginning of the game that is very, very similar to Amaram's betrayal
Yeah.
that hits so freaking hard.
It hits really
that
hard.
it's like crazy.
And then the game just like lets you roll in it. Like
Yeah,
it just lets you
and then
sit in the muck.
it's as if that you had the betrayal, and then Amaram ties you up to a horse and drags you through the
Yeah.
bodies of your comrades that he just put down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that right after all of this other stuff where the
Oh,
game
man.
just beats you down and beats you down, and then it takes somebody going and like essentially just like they do to Kaladin,
yeah.
of like you have to say the words, even when
Yeah,
they're
you
hard
have to
say.
get up. Yeah.
You have to get up
Yeah.
and you have to step forward, and like that is the moment where your character is like, I have to take a next step.
Are you Anthony, are you
So
going to
good.
play this game?
No, I don't think this is your type of. We talked about this. I think Anthony should watch somebody play through it.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
he likes enjoys.
When
listening
we
to.
were on our company little offsite thing, we were talking about it, and I was like, you know what's very interesting is our friend Jason told Nat to play it, but he specifically didn't tell me to play it. Nor did Nat, nor did Eric. I feel like that tells you something.
I feel like this is not a typical game that I would see you play. Like
fine.
I would at least I wouldn't watch you play it. Like maybe it might be something that you come to later. Like, but I wouldn't play
think
this
you
right
should
now.
try to play it,
For sure.
but if you don't enjoy the gameplay like immediately, because
It's
here's
not
the
gonna be for you.
the gameplay is very quick. You can do the very first battle in the first 10 minutes and know whether you'll like the battle game.
Yeah, the loop. Yeah.
And if you don't like it,
Yeah.
then watch somebody play through it.
Yeah.
Because I think you'll enjoy the story
Yeah.
of it. It's like Railroad. It's just a great story, great music, great voice acting. If you watch somebody play it, it'll legitimately feel like watching a show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For me and for people like me, like the first trailer I've ever seen that I'm like, I actually want to play that single player game, has been Squadron 42, the single player Star Citizen thing.
Yeah.
Watching that, I felt like I watched a pretty epic intro to a movie. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm literally playing a movie. I mentally am ready for that. But it's very different to play a movie, to play a book, to play a story, than to play Marvel Rivals.
Yes.
Right.
100%.
Marvel
So you
Rivals,
just
can
have
turn
to-
your brain off and just focus.
Yeah, I have to mentally be ready to do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of
I agree.
games don't prepare you for that with their trailers.
No.
Agreed.
Oh man.
But how's
And I
y'all's
have no
experience
clue.
been?
Oh my gosh, so good.
my god, it's such a good game.
I love it, and here's the thing. It has added a combat to turn-based fighting games like Final Fantasy that expanded the skill ceiling
Yeah.
and just
man.
made them so tactfully fun.
Yeah.
And
Like can I give an example?
yeah,
Okay, so one of the characters is the mage of the party, right?
yeah,
It casts earth, fire, electricity, and ice magic, right? But the way that her system works is that when she casts spells, she gains stains. And for each stain, the corresponding element buffs another spell. So you combo spells.
yeah.
And the idea is to go ahead and keep either the combo running or to get enough stains that you just like whomp something with the amount of damage that you put out.
But
And that's
On
not the
top of that,
only way to
that's
play
every
her.
character. Yeah,
And that's, yeah,
You can
and
play her 100
every
different ways.
and every
I'm
single
doing
character
it differently
yeah.
than Nat is doing it, and
Yeah.
Nat's doing it differently than Jason's doing it. We have all decided a different path for this character that is entirely separate.
Yeah.
And they all feel different. But here's the thing. If you are good enough, you never have to take damage in this game, even though it's a turn-based game.
True. In fact, at higher difficulties, it is expected that you do not take damage.
Yes. There are monsters where taking damage
It's a one
death.
tap. It is
You
a
know-
one tap. Yeah.
You'll have me thinking that like for a game that is very book-like, which so far y'all are making it sound kind of like a really good book.
Yeah.
A turn-based combat system sounds perfect because
It is. It is.
you get to sit, you get to think,
Oh no.
Yeah.
you get
dude,
to
you don't-
wonder about the
you know, Dave,
story being built.
The fighting is not time to sit and think. You need to focus.
Oh, yeah. So here's the only thing with that. The timings, all of this are tight. Tight.
They are tight like
They're
Sekiro
so
tight.
They're like, oh my goodness, tight. You know how parrying works in Sekiro, right? You remember
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
beaten the game, but I would like to someday.
Sekiro has baby easy timings on
Wait,
its pairing compared to
how are there-
pairing this game.
I thought you said it was turn-based. Why is there parrying timings?
Exactly. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
Okay. No.
Evan, let me- no,
You've been
Nat,
talking
Nat,
this entire
no,
time.
no,
You
no,
shut
okay,
up.
go.
You shut up. Okay. Let me go. I want one.
Go for it.
All right. So the game has another system added onto its combat, which is the dodge and parry system. Now, the dodge piece of the system is intended for you to use to learn how to use the parry system.
If you're a baby.
If you're a baby, shut up, Eric. Everybody starts off going to that little green dude and getting their shit rocked in. So how about you shut up and let me talk to this man and tell him what it's actually about. Anyway, so you can dodge an attack and you'll get dodge, right? And that's just a standard dodge. But if you perfectly time the dodge and you get perfect, that's your affirmation to say that you have now learned how to parry. Because if you can dodge perfectly, that is the parry timing.
Yes.
Hmm.
Also,
So,
the
yeah.
dodge timing is tighter than Sekiro's parries.
Yes. So you have it needs to be like nigh on perfect. Now they do also give you tells. Like there is rhythm that is in certain attacks. There is sound cues that are in certain attacks, and there are movements to certain attacks that you can kind of lock into. So it's all part of your experience, right? For some people, they lock into the sound aspect of it, and if they hear the sound cue, they immediately parry and they get it 100% all the time. For me, I'm more rhythm based. So whenever I see like an attack, I have to go ahead and fight the monster multiple times. So I'm trying to learn how to incorporate the sound piece into doing rhythm.
The question is it like, so you said it's turn-based. So is
Yes.
it like, I want my character to do this,
Yes.
and then when it executes, well, while you're watching it execute, you have to do the dodges and parries
No.
during the action?
So when you attack, there are quick time events that you can press X for or A for, whatever you have, that will either increase the damage or incorporate another form of attack onto the monster. Like let's say I have a move that when I hit somebody, if I get the timing as well, actually no, I don't think there's anything that restricts the attack being less than if you don't do the timer. Am I right with that, Eric? I know that like you can get less damage, but like if it's asking you to it will also slow.
No, it doesn't slow it. However, there are some abilities that simply do not function
If you don't do the
how
quick time.
they should if you don't do quick time.
Right.
For
Okay.
example, there's an ultimate that the main character does.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
do his quick time event correctly, then you do like a 10 combo attack with a huge wind up at the end.
Yeah.
However, if you miss any of them, then, if you miss more than 50% of them, then he like does he tries to wind up his punch, and he's like, ah, it doesn't work, and he like gets a weak punch.
Yeah.
So there is. The kittens are still asleep.
They're nocturnal, man. They're not gonna wake up for a bit, man.
Wait, cats are nocturnal?
Shut up.
Don't tell me to shut up.
No. You know that cats are nocturnal.
Nat, do you know how dumb I am? Apparently
No.
not. Because
Dude,
most
you're
of the
not dumb.
time,
You're not
when I
dumb.
say
You're
something
not
dumb,
dumb.
you're
No,
like,
no,
why
no.
are you saying this stupid stuff, you smarty? And I'm like, guess what?
Because you are smart. Because you
No,
are smart.
I'm capable. There's a difference.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair. Anyway, so there are quick time events that happen during attacks that will either enhance your attack or cause another additional effect. But for whenever it's the monster's turn or your opponent's turn, that's when the quick time event. That's whenever the dodging and the parrying come in. So you're always clued in to fighting. There's no in between. Eric's just pointing. It's ridiculous.
Pointing at the kitties. It's all blackness, brother.
Yeah, we can't see anything, dude.
You've got black kittens in a
One of them
black
is-
box.
Yeah, one of them is a tuxedo. So
Oh man.
and this one's gray. So this one right here is gray. You see her little face popping up? This is her paw right there.
Oh.
And
adorable.
she's laying on top of the black one.
I see blackness moving in blackness. It's like shadows.
Yep.
Shadow movement.
Maybe if I look at this one, I can see it. Nope, can't see it there either.
No, it's still
They're
super
right
dark.
there, though.
Anyway, but that's that. Stupid cats.
So- This is kind of like when I was flying the plane. Someone was trying to explain something to me, so I'm watching a video to try to understand.
Oh, you're trying to watch it. Okay, are you watching my video?
No, I'm watching the Steam page second video, and every time I pause and play it, it decides to unmute and blast my ears. It's great.
Oof, it's a
Or if I
wonderful time.
fast forward or rewind, it also unmutes.
You may not be able to see all of the actual fight. You might be able to like go to
I've
my
seen fights
go to
happen
my-
with the
go to one of my
A
VODs.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just they're not showing like the turn-based aspect,
Yeah.
where like theoretically you're planning things and then executing them. I don't know. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Umbra's here. How's he not playing the new Doom?
Dude, he
How's he
said
not
he was gonna
streaming it?
he's gonna rip and tear as soon as it finishes downloading. That's what he
Oh,
said.
it's downloading.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I see. Okay, Umber didn't know that cats are nocturnal either. Nat,
Bruh, I'm about
and
to
he's smarter
throw-
than me.
I'm gonna throw a shoe
No,
at both of y'all.
he's
joking. He's saying,
he's-
"Bruh, man didn't know cats
he's-
are
all
nocturnal."
right,
he's
good night, y'all.
bashing
This is a
you.
great
Yeah,
podcast.
he's
I'll-
bashing
He's
you.
he's actually like, oh, bud, oh, buddy, oh, bud,
She moved. Look at
Oh,
her. She's
bud.
right there.
oh, it's cute.
Oh, wait, Bethesda makes Doom?
No, he was talking about. You know what? I'm gonna get back on topic because you're just out of line. Okay, so let's go ahead and focus.
Claire
Claire Obscure is
amazing.
fantastic. It is a
Absolutely
really good
fantastic.
game, and if you're going to watch it, I'm going to try and stream the entire game. We'll see.
I am definitely going to stream the entire game too. So-
We'll see.
but probably at a slower rate than you will. So
Yeah, I'm probably gonna chew through it as soon as possible because I can't stop myself. Yeah.
But guys, I unfortunately do have to go pick something up for a friend from a friend's house.
Let us
So,
call it here then.
we do unfortunately have to call it here. Otherwise, I won't get there before they fall asleep, and I kind of need it. So
Fair.
I
Alright,
am not
guys.
crazy. Umbra did say the new Doom just came out, so I don't know what y'all are talking about. But anyway,
Yeah,
it,
okay,
it
buddy.
did come.
It did
wait,
just come
it's
out. He said he's downloading it right now, guys.
Gosh, I want to play
Nobody
it so
is
badly.
listening to me.
So badly.
God,
I want to play it. so badly.
stupid.
I'm gonna play it, Umbra. It's gonna be hype.
aren't you supposed to
maybe-
be playing Gloomhaven right now?
I called off for tonight because I knew I was gonna be dealing with the cats.
And he's
Got
gonna
you,
need
got
to
I
get
was
something.
I was super late to the podcast, so I knew I would run late here. There were just a lot of stuff. I not in the headspace to play Gloomhaven. right
Cool.
now. So
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks, Umbra.
Yes.
Thanks,
Thanks,
whoever is
nerds.
lurking. Thanks,
yes,
Ash.
like, subscribe, even through all
Oh,
the.
For those of you here, we're going to have a schedule.
yes.
So if you want you may be able to join us on the tasting adventures of the whiskey and the bourbons and the other things.
Join. That'll be in the Discord. Join the
Yes.
Discord. It's in all the stuff. It's in all the stuff.
Mhm.
But
Alright.
but yes,
Alright.
guys, another wonderful episode. Like, subscribe, follow, do all the things. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye. Thank you all.
Okay. I'm gonna run real quick before they fall asleep. I will catch y'all later.